680's Kris McCusker joins us now. Kris, here's a word we don't hear very often when it comes to the markets these days. I'm not even sure I can pronounce it or remember how to. Is it optimism? Optimism?
Optimism. Yes. Yeah. Oh, Francis, you're funny. We did see more optimism on Bay and Wall Street again today. Markets on both sides of the border, decent gains. You know, not really much to write home about, nothing to complain about either. Now, so far, year to date, which is 5 days, the TSX is up by 2%. It was down by 12% last year. In the U.S., the NASDAQ leading the way so far in 2019, up by more than 3.5%. All U.S. indices up by about 1% today. Bay Street just shy of that. And yes, U.S.-China trade talks and optimism around that driving markets higher again today, but also the price for oil. It was higher for a 7th straight day. That is the longest winning streak now in about 18 months. The loonie went along for the ride. It's close to a 4-week high. U.S. dollar has seen a bit of pressure, although the lift also from oil prices is driving our loonie higher as well.
Well, here's to the first 5 days, Kris.
Woohoo!
So traders on Bay Street are going to be paying close attention tomorrow. That's when the Bank of Canada makes an interest rate announcement. What are we expecting?
No change expected this time around. I checked on Bloomberg, a 0% chance of a hike, and believe it or not, a 15% chance of a cut.
Oh.
There has been talk sort of out there about a potential cut. Many economists I've spoken to say the central bank can pretty much sit on the sidelines, at least in the near term. Inflation not a concern. The economy is doing well, though it's not full throttle. There's really no reason to hike. There's no reason to cut really either right now. The bank, though, does have a bit of room to cut because we have seen hikes recently. The U.S. government shutdown as well, potentially a problem as far as interest rates moving forward. Not so much in Canada, but in the U.S. And, of course, the Bank of Canada will pay attention to what goes on in the U.S. That government shutdown now very close to being the longest U.S. government shutdown ever, just a couple days away. The U.S. president does have that primetime speech tonight, and the top 2 Democrats scheduled to meet with him tomorrow. Yeah. All of this on that border wall that, if I remember correctly, Mexico was supposed to pay for.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so we'll see how that plays out.
We'll see. So one of Canada's largest pharmacy chains is getting into the medical marijuana biz.
That's right, Francis. We're talking about Shoppers Drug Mart, and the idea here is to make access easier for medicinal marijuana. The e-commerce platform for medical cannabis launched today, about a month after Health Canada licensed the company, that is Shoppers Drug Mart, to sell the product online. Shoppers can initially only sell medical cannabis to patients in Ontario, and they will be required to take a medical document similar to a prescription to an Ontario pharmacy to begin this process. Now, Shoppers Drug Mart says it signed supply agreements with 10 licensed producers of dried cannabis and cannabis oil and will provide products and medical accessories.
Okay. So remember the good old Canadian $1 bill. It's now worth a lot more than $1.
Yes, and if you can believe it, it went out of circulation in 1989.
Oh, wow.
I know. Some worth more than others, and we've got a picture here of one specifically. You can sort of see like a bit of a face in her hair there.
Oh, okay.
This is part of a rare series, and by her, I mean the Queen.
Her Majesty, yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
A rare series of bills from 1954. They were referred to as a devil's face note.
Ooh.
They were taken out of circulation because of that reference. You can sort of see like a monster face in her hair. But if you have one of those in perfect condition, it may be worth up to $7,000. So you might want to have a look around and see if you still have some. As far as these older bills are concerned, 2 things affect the price: rarity and quality. So maybe sniff around, see if you have any tucked away.
Everyone's running to check their acid wash jeans right now.
Well, I have one, actually. My grandmother gave me one years ago, and it's sort of in between cardboard, and I'm going to have to check it out now.
Get a magnifying glass. Devil's hair.
Yes. Well, I mean, trade a 1 for $7,000.
Not
That's
bad.
a good deal.
That's a good bonus.
Yeah.
Thanks, Kris. We'll see you next time.
Okay, have a good night.